Hi, it's Miss Kemp. I wanted to show you something that I've had since I was a little girl. This is one of the first things that my parents bought for me. Do you know what it is? It's called a piggy bank. And a piggy bank is used when you get a little money. You put it in here so you can save it up. And my parents used to give me a quarter or some change when I would do some chores around the house, and I would put it inside of my piggy bank. So let's open it up. It won't hurt the piggy, but let's open it up and see what I have in here. Let's see here. I have pennies. Do you see that? The penny is like a copper coin. And it has a picture on it, you see that, of Abraham Lincoln. He was president a long time ago. And this is worth 1 cent. This is the smallest unit of money that we have in the United States. So this 1 cent coin here is the smallest piece of currency. And then I also have these nickels. These nickels are worth 5 cents, so you need 5 of these pennies to be equal with 1 nickel. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pennies, that's the same value as having 1 nickel. And if I had one of these, a dime is worth 10 cents. I'd have to have 2 nickels, 5 plus 5, to make 10 cents. And then let's see, what else do I have? This coin is quite a bit bigger. It's got George Washington, the first president of the United States, on it. And it's called a quarter. It's called a quarter. And I would need 2 dimes and 1 nickel to make 1 quarter, because a quarter is worth 25 cents. You know, I'm looking at my pile of coins here, and there's a lot fewer coins than I thought I had. You know, I think I've been spending them every now and then, and I didn't realize how quickly the money was going down. So it reminds me of this book, Alexander, who used to be rich, last Sunday. You can see Alexander's here with his pockets turned out. He's got no money. Let's read and see if we can figure out what happened to Alexander's money. It isn't fair that my brother Anthony has $2 and 3 quarters and 1 dime and 7 nickels and 18 pennies. Alexander doesn't look happy. It isn't fair that my brother Nicholas has $1 and 2 quarters and 5 dimes and 5 nickels and 13 pennies. It isn't fair because what I've got is bus tokens. So they used to have you use tokens instead of like a card or money to ride the bus. You used to put these tokens that you could buy ahead of time in the bus. And most of the time, what I've mostly got is bus tokens. And even when I'm very rich, I know pretty soon what I'll have is bus tokens. I know because I used to be rich last Sunday. So here he is with just his bus tokens, and here he is thinking about all the things that he could buy if he had money. Last Sunday, Grandma Betty and Grandpa Louie came for a visit from New Jersey. They brought lox because my father likes to eat lox. They brought plants because my mother likes to grow plants. They brought $1 for me and $1 for Nick and $1 for Anthony because, Mom says it isn't nice to say this, we like money. A lot. Especially me. There he is with his money. Ooh, he looks like he really likes money. My father told me to put the dollar away to pay for college. He was kidding. Anthony told me to use the dollar to go downtown to a store and buy a new face. Anthony stinks. Do your brothers and sisters ever tease you like that? I know mine used to tease me. Nikki said to take the dollar and bury it in the garden, and in a week a dollar tree would grow. Ha ha. Mom said if I really want to buy a walkie-talkie, save my money. Saving money is hard. Because last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I went to Pearson's drugstore and got bubble gum. And after the gum stopped tasting good, I got more gum. And after that gum stopped tasting good, I got more gum. And even though I told my friend David I'd sell him all the gum in my mouth for a nickel, he still wouldn't buy it. Goodbye 15 cents. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I bet I could hold my breath to 300. Anthony won. I bet I could jump off the top of my stoop and land on my feet. Nikki won. A stoop is like a porch. I had never really heard that word before I read this book. So a stoop is like a front porch step. I bet that I could hide this purple marble in my hand, and my mom would never guess which hand it was hiding on. I didn't know moms made children pay. Goodbye another 15 cents. I absolutely was saving the rest of my money. I positively was saving the rest of my money. Except that Eddie called me and said that he would rent me his snake for an hour. I always wanted to rent a snake for an hour. Goodbye 12 cents. Anthony said that when I'm 99, I still won't have enough for a walkie-talkie. Nick said I'm too dumb to be let loose. My father said there are certain words that a boy can never say, no matter how ratty and mean his brothers are being. My father fined me 5 cents for saying each of them. Goodbye, dime. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, by accident, I flushed 3 cents down the toilet. A nickel fell through a crack when I walked on my hands. I tried to get my nickel out with a butter knife and also my mother's scissors. Goodbye 8 cents, and butter knife, and scissors. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I found this chocolate candy bar just sitting there. I rescued it from being melted or smushed, except the way I rescued it from being melted or smushed was that I ate it. How was I supposed to know it was Anthony's? Goodbye 11 cents. I absolutely was saving the rest of my money. I positively was saving the rest of my money. But then Nick did a magic trick that made pennies vanish into thin air. The trick to bring them back he hasn't learned yet. Goodbye 4 cents. He looks upset. Anthony said that even when I'm 199, I still won't have enough money for a walkie-talkie. Nick said they should lock me in a cage. My father said there are certain things that a boy can never kick, no matter how ratty and mean his brothers are being. My father made me pay 5 cents for kicking it. Goodbye, nickel. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, Kathy around the corner had a garage sale. I positively only went to look. I looked at a half-melted candle. I needed that candle. I looked at a bear with one eye. Oh, I needed that bear. I looked at a deck of cards that was perfect, except for no 7 of clubs and no 2 of diamonds. I didn't need that 7 or that 2. Goodbye, 20 cents. I don't know if he's making the best decisions. I absolutely was saving the rest of my money. I positively was saving the rest of my money. I absolutely positively was saving the rest of my money. Except for now I needed to get some money to save. I tried to make a tooth fall out. I would put it under my pillow and get a quarter, but I didn't have any loose teeth. I don't think his mom thinks that's such a great idea. I looked in Pearson's telephone booth for nickels and dimes that people sometimes forget. No one forgot. I brought some non-returnable bottles down to Friendly Market. Friendly's Market was not very friendly. That's back when people didn't have cell phones. You had to pay to use a phone in public, and sometimes the change would come down at the bottom and people would forget it there. I remember going and looking for the change. I told my grandma and grandpa to come back soon. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I used to have $1. I do not have $1 anymore. I've got this dopey deck of cards, this one-eyed bear, and I've got this melted candle. And it looks like he did not make good decisions. And I've got some bus tokens. I like this book because it's a good reminder that you can spend a lot of money a little bit at a time. It makes me think about how it's better to save things up for the things that I really want. I wonder if Alexander is ever going to get those walkie-talkies. What do you think?